This mother used her child to smuggle drugs into a prison. The mother handed her daughter to the father, which seems like a sweet, innocent moment. He opens his arms wide, the mother places the child in the man's lap and then pats the little girl on the cheek. At first, he caresses his child and gives her a little kiss while the mom takes a minute to stretch. The man then reaches behind his daughter and appears to try to pull something out of her pants. He looks around and the mom tries her best to cover him as he stuffs it in his clothes. He struggles a little bit, but at last he's in the clear. He grabs his daughter one more time and puts his arms around her as the police opens the door and in comes a K-9. They ask the mother to step out and he takes one last look at his daughter before they grab the child from the father. In this moment, he's probably scared and going to act confused. He should have known his every move was being recorded. More officers arrive outside and the mom comes back in. She looks worried and tries to tell him something. He has no time to act. They tell him to stand up. The mom will now go to jail herself and the daughter will...
White car at the bottom of the screen is where our bad guys are, and they are waiting for their prey, and you can see them put it in drive because they see her coming down the road right here. In the original, they waited just a little longer. Now, you can see them block her off, but she's left a little bit of distance. As they get out of the car, she kind of thinks about running them over, but isn't able to do it. You see the passenger door not open there, but then the driver's door did. They pull this woman out of the car, and she's going to put up a little bit of a fight, but man, against two of them there, three of them, she's not going to be able to do much. They're going to stuff her in the car and drive off with her, and that's just how fast the kidnapping happens. As soon as she started to see what was a threat there, you notice she started to drive off, but she just wasn't willing to finish that. And what I want to tell you is you got to have the emotional fitness that if you're in danger, push that accelerator down and get out of the danger zone. Use that car because it's the most effective tool you have. She could have gotten out of there. Next, lock your doors. The passenger door was locked, but the driver door was not. And because her driver's door was unlocked, they had access to the cabin. She, if her door was locked, could have hit the gas at that point as well and gotten out of there. But because her door was open, now she's in a hand fight. She decides, oh, they want the car, but they don't want the car. They want her instead. And you got to recognize when it's time to fight. I'd rather use the car, but if you're going to go hand to hand, man, don't ever get taken to a second location. Nothing good happens at the second location. As they're taking her here, I've told many people this, what I would really recommend, last ditch scenario, just drop all your body weight and go to the ground. Make them carry you into the car at the very least, so then that way you make a harder target. They might get frustrated and not take you. Unfortunately, this woman was taken. So learn the lessons about using your car. Make sure you create space, have the emotional fitness to use the car effectively if you have to. Keep your doors locked.
When you're recording, your son hit wrong buttons and catch a full-on crime.
Wrong one, babe. What? That guy's carrying a stick.
I'm carrying a Sharpie, okay? And it's freaking sharp. It poked me. Look at it. It poked me. It's sharp. Holy fuck.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell? Should have brought my pepper spray. Can we cross the street?
Horrifying Things Ever Live-Streamed Part 25 Trigger Warning. This past June, Facebook comedian Tyrell Smith went live while sitting outside on a sunny morning. He was very well known in his hometown and garnered a large audience for his Facebook live streams. His particular brand of comedy was seen as controversial, and it created a few enemies along the way, including another local family. On that morning, he engaged in a heated argument with a man from that family who entered the live. This particular man had already threatened Tyrell several times, and he appeared to just brush it off. Sometime later, Tyrell is heard saying, "We've got some action." He likely noticed a vehicle pulling up to his home. He stood up, and moments later, gunshots are heard ringing out one after the next. The camera drops to the ground, capturing the sky as a man from his family finds him bleeding out. He was struck multiple times. First responders rushed him to a nearby hospital, but his injuries were fatal.
Okay, we got action. We got action.
I don't know. I can't see, he's just laying on the ground. He ain't moving.
4:01 a.m., the video showed Melissa running from the direction of the kitchen, appearing distressed. This was also around the time when a neighbor's outdoor Nest camera across the street picked up audio of screaming and yelling. Then, in the next video clip at 4:08 a.m., 4:01 a.m., the video showed Melissa running from the direction of the kitchen,
I don't know if this is for you.
Ring video captures a homeowner's quick thinking during an attempted armed robbery at their front door. The video was taken at about 9:45 a.m. on Friday, April 14th. It shows the suspect approach the front door of a home in East Haven, Connecticut, dressed as a delivery driver with a package. When someone comes to answer the door, the suspect keeps up the act, saying the package may be for them.
I don't know if this is for you.
Video then shows the suspect rush the homeowner before being pushed back out of the doorway. The suspect can be seen in the video holding a gun. After that, he runs off to a nearby vehicle that quickly speeds away.
That was my bad. I was playing the game, and I butt dialed the phone. Okay. That was my bad. What? No. It's only me home.
Okay, so this was just an accident. You call 911. Did you say you killed 2 people or something like that?
Rainbow Six Siege. I had my headset on.
Okay, how old are you?
17.
You're 17. Do you have a driver's license or no?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a driver's license.
Are you, where's your parents at?
Work.
Okay.
No.
Do you want me to talk to your mom?
Yeah, you can.
You're not in any trouble, man.
All right.
If it's an accident...
Hey, is this Elijah's mom?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, so what happened is, I guess he's saying that he was playing a video game, and in the process of accidentally calling 911, he said that he killed 2 people, but he was talking about on the game. So we thought that there was a double murder, so we showed up to your house with a bunch of us. That's why we're here talking to your son, okay? So there's nothing to be worried about, okay?
Yeah, I got the call.
Yeah, we're just trying to, we're just doing our due diligence here, trying to figure everything out and make sure that everybody's okay, because we have to do that when we get a 911 call.
Hey, boys. Hey. Y'all just got busted. That's my shit. I need everything back before I call the fucking police right now. Everything comes back. Everything comes back right now, motherfuckers. Y'all are fucking busted. You are fucking all busted, dude. I'm calling the police. Every one of them. Get them all back to... You put them right back where you found those motherfuckers right now.
We found
everything.
Them.
No.
Look, sir, I found these over here by the fence.
No. Everything comes back. That's that fucking car. Everybody stops.
What car?
You got the police fucking coming. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck all y'all.
I'm sorry.
Hell,
no,
you don't go nowhere. You're already busted, dude. You are fucking busted.
Sir, I didn't know this was yours.
A terrifying real footage of a group of men following a girl home.
Can't fucking open the damn doors.
A man was arrested and charged for a hate crime after this incident was caught on camera.
Japanese or Korean? I'm Korean. Kim Jong-un's boyfriend, huh? You're Kim Jong-un's boyfriend?
The 2 friends were eating at an In-N-Out burger on Christmas Eve when a man off camera began harassing them.
Are you filming yourself eating? Yeah. You're a weird homosexual.
At first, the two friends tried to laugh it off.
I just want to eat my flying Dutchman in peace, bro. It's because I'm ethnic. Honestly, for eating the flying Dutchman, I kind of feel like I deserve to be hate crime.
After a while, however, the man became even more hostile.
I didn't say anything. You didn't see anything? No, sir. Sounds like it spit in your face and some Filipino.
The two friends left after the restaurant closed and were escorted by staff to their car. California police arrested the man, a Colorado resident, after the San Ramon Police Department chief saw the video go viral on TikTok. According to the New York Times, he is no longer in custody, and it is unclear whether official charges will be filed.
A woman sprints to the porch and scoops up 3 packages. She slipped on wet grass and has injured her ankle. Her accomplice hears her cries. He comes to her aid. He helps her up and carries the injured woman to the car. Once she's safely in the car, he doubles back to finish what she can't. A woman sprints to the...
This clip might not have been caught on CCTV, but close enough. This body cam footage captures the moments as police walk into the confessed killer's house.
So, sir, you're Robert? Okay.
They come looking for the man's girlfriend, who seemingly no one has heard from in any way.
Well, that's the reason that we're here. I think we're here. Is the family's calling us, saying we haven't heard from our daughter and our sister.
He's not detained. A few police officers walk upstairs to search the house, and the man on the couch seems confused.
Not that you're aware of. Like, you're not making a whole lot of sense to me, guy.
Like, I don't know what, sorry, I'm still getting my bearings.
He says he got into a fight with his girlfriend a few weeks ago and hadn't heard from her since.
I don't know, like 3 weeks ago, we got into a tizzy. She threw a bunch of my stuff out, food and stuff like that.
None of the officers seem to believe him, which makes sense. Later, he would confess to the murder, but at this moment, he's making up stories on the spot. We don't see the point where the man is arrested, as the footage cuts out when the other officers come back down, and the one filming leaves to go make a call.
Okay. I'm gonna go make a call to mom.
But this footage was used in the trial, as his response was definitely not that of a concerned boyfriend. This clip...
Hello. Hey, just have a really nice question to ask you guys. I'm downstairs with my neighbor. We're trying to visit all morning long. All we're hearing is, can you keep it quiet? Yeah, please. Thank you.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I found this bone, and it looks like a hip bone of a human, and it looks like it's been cut off. You can leave. And that looks like the bit that you put a leg into. And I'm about to have a f***ing heart attack. I'm literally waiting for the police to arrive, and I have 7% battery, and my car's not working. After an hour, the police arrived, and I then walked him through the woods. It's a 15-minute walk to get to where I was, with the moonlight, and that was it. It was just slightly to the side. I didn't really move it.
Lovely.
So despite me sending photos, they needed to come and take more with a tape measure to figure out what it was, because they knew it wasn't deer.
But you're coming back, no? Or you're sitting here? I'm here. You're going to stay here?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a little bit sketchy. Yeah.
The police officer had to wait on the scene and tape it up in case, and I had to make the journey through the woods back to my car all alone, which was kind of...
Some creepy shit you will see on a Ring camera. I'm so glad I have mine.
two men and a woman were recorded on video when they entered a supermarket. They walk around for a while and then approached the clerk and acted as they were going to make a purchase. When the clerk opened the cash register, they reached into the cash drawer and took money from the register. The suspects left running towards the parking lot. Later that day, the suspects are seen on video walking inside another store where the same planning was in motion. When the employee opened the cash register, the suspects reached over the counter and removed money from the cash drawer. The suspects again left running towards the parking lot and got into a black Chevrolet and fled the scene.
Two crimes happened. The scariest moment.
Go! Who the fuck are you? Tell them I have them at gunpoint. Get the fuck out. Goodbye.
My husband has him at gunpoint.
He's walking away. I'm putting the gun down.
He's walking away. They're going to stay away.
He's going. Let me talk to him. Hello?
Craziest murder cases caught on camera. Part 2.
Took his time to hide his face from the cameras he knew were watching him, but halfway through his attempted break-in, he took a quick peep to see if the camera was still watching. It was. These thieves did their research. They even knew where the security cameras were. At least they thought they did. Sometimes a little bit of pre-planning can save you a lot of time and effort. Man. When you're outsmarted and get locked in the very store you're trying to rob, you know it's game over. This was the world's easiest arrest for these policemen. Here we go again. Of all disguises you can wear to fool a CCTV, what would you rate as the worst? You think a plastic bag would be up there with other terrible ideas? What's the best way to get free money? An ATM, right? I guess they're reinforced for a reason. Not even the tow bar of a minivan can pull it free. I've heard of hiding goods under your hoodie for inconspicuous shoplifting, but this is on a whole other level. Yeah, boy. When he stole a bunch of packages off someone's front porch, he rewarded police with a little victory dance and his full face on camera.
Thank you very much.
You're just arresting me on a charge that's made up. I know. You are, though. It's made up. It's made up. Oh, it's made up, dude. It's made up.
The authority to make things up.
Got it, right? Oh, God.
Somebody find something you know about?
Because I had a bullet in my pocket, but it went like, it's not like I'm planning anything.
Oh,
I
okay.
dropped it on the ground.
Okay.
But I didn't know I'm not allowed to bring a bullet.
Okay.
Like, I'm not like a school shooter. That makes sense.
Well, let me ask you this while I got you right here. Just to be honest with you, you didn't bring any gun into school, did you?
No. I wouldn't like bring a gun into school.
No, okay, I know.
That's not my intention.
You know I gotta ask though, right?
Was there a bullet down there? It's gotta be the reason for you.
Put your hand on that table for me.
Oh, I got more bullets. I got 2.
Okay, don't put your hand in your pocket. Just keep your hands on the table. Just put them on the table. Just put them on the table for real quick, okay? So I'm gonna have to search you.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. So you had 2 bullets in this one?
Right here.
Okay, we'll get there. Okay.
Literally, if I thought I was doing anything wrong, I would have been.
I got you. Just know in today's day, you can be too safe. Especially in a school environment, that's all.
Look at the black one.
Right there. Okay, that's all of them? Yeah. Alright, so I do got continue searching, that's all. So, literally, I'm gonna look this up. If you don't mind, look it up and then
The footage begins with Mary unloading antiques into her storage unit, and then she leaves to go to the office. While she's gone, the owner of the orange truck walks into her storage unit and waits for her to return. When Mary enters her storage, the door is closed behind her. After several minutes, only the man exits the building. He then cleans up Mary's belongings and drives her vehicle away. When he returns, he goes back into her storage and comes out with 2 large trash cans, and he puts them into his own storage. The footage
Murder Caught on Camera Part 1. Viewer discretion is advised.
Trespasser creeps around woman as she sleeps. During his bizarre visit, the man also took a drink and used the bathroom. He then grabbed a pair of socks, put them on and walked out. The suspect, identified as 23-year-old Dan Abimana, was charged with trespassing. No burglary charges were logged because the element of intent to commit a crime was not present. Alcohol was involved, officers said.
He actually bumped my knee, either with boots he was moving around or with his hand, I'm not sure, but something made contact with me that actually woke me up. I asked him, I said, who are you? And he just stood in front of me and didn't answer, and I said, who are you? And he said, I'm the guy that dropped you off last night. And at that point, I knew it wasn't a friend of the kids or anything, so then I started screaming for my son, And he came out, and the guy had already went out the door. We went outside to look for him, and he wasn't nowhere. He didn't even have time enough to get in a car. So he was still in the building somewhere. And we called the police. They showed up right away. Did a very thorough job of searching cars, garages, the hallways. They fingerprinted everything he had touched in the video and asked us if we wanted to press charges, and we said yes. And then they left.
Pocket caught on camera.
How about no?
Shooting caught on camera. Shooting.
The scariest thing I've ever seen caught on camera, this lady and her daughter who's coming up the stairs are going into their apartment when all of a sudden you're going to see her looking up into the camera. She opens the door, there's her daughter, and all of a sudden this man is going to come out of nowhere, grab her, and take her into the house. This is absolutely horrifying. A parent's worst nightmare. Grabs the child and goes in. He slams the door behind, and after a few hours, he comes out in the middle of the night. The camera catches him. Fortunately, they catch and arrest this guy. Follow for more. The scariest thing I've ever seen caught on camera, this lady...
What is your suspicion?
It looks like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't have
you ensured that it's not a firearm?
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be a to me.
Well, you're being one to me. Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put you in?
supervisor,
He's right
please.
here.
What's she stop you for? For a walking stick.
So,
and it could look like a weapon. She asked you to present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion. Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed. Okay. So there is no problem. You have your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it. Okay.
all right, Mr. Hodges. Was that hard?
It's gonna be. I want your name and your badge number.
It's the middle of a Monday afternoon earlier this month. A very calm Peralta waits on the curb for officers to arrive.
I'm just tired of covering it up.
Try to cover it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm tired of living with my wife, sir.
The guilt?
Hell yeah.
The officer asks if Peralta will take him to where he buried Blodgett.
Let's go.
Okay.
Without being told, Peralta puts his hands behind his back to be cuffed. As he's walked to a patrol car, he thanks the officers.
Thank you guys for coming.
It's the first of many thank yous throughout his arrest. Peralta's driven to the Roswell Police Department, where he tells them he's taken blood pressure pills and a drink to get up the nerve to come forward.
Did it happen at the house?
It did.
It did?
I was on meth really bad.
Okay.
And I killed him because he didn't give me no money. And I buried him in his house.
Because he can't remember the address, Peralta agrees to help them locate the house. We later find out he lived there too. Blodgett was his landlord. In his early 20s, Peralta rented a room in Blodgett's house.
It's right here. Next house.
This white one?
This white one here?
Yeah. I buried him in that slight place right here.
The area that looks like a room added on to the home. Now that they have the address, police match it to an old report on William Blodgett's disappearance, which shows they were suspicious of Peralta then and even searched the house.
Why didn't they smell his body in there?
I don't know.
It's a good question. Blodgett's son reported him missing in January 2009, saying he hadn't been seen since Christmas Eve. Court records revealed police used a cadaver dog on the property days after he disappeared, and a detective interviewed Peralta because a witness told police Blodgett had accused Peralta of stealing his wallet and tried to evict him. But the report states neither the dog nor Peralta gave police any leads. They closed the case.
But what part of that room?
The left side.
The left side?
Yeah, if you pull the board up and dig them up.
And sure enough, with a shovel and flashlights, officers get to work doing just that.
Let's pull this up.
Let's see up. Let's see where to get it with the shovel.
It takes some time, but they eventually realize Peralta was telling the truth. That boot has bones in it. While they wait for the search warrant to continue collecting remains, Peralta is driven back to the station. Police have more questions.
I just don't want to talk anymore.
Well, it's off your shoulders now, man.
Peralta starts to let go of 14 years of guilt.
A security camera at St. Andrew the Apostle Church in Camden County, New Jersey picks up a man walking across the church parking lot. The man is then seen on an interior surveillance camera, entering the chapel outside of Mass hours. Upon entering the chapel, the man heads straight for the altar, peeks around to make sure no one is watching, then lifts a heavy statue of the Virgin Mary off the altar. The suspect then muscles the 3.5-foot effigy out into the lobby of the church, right past a grocery cart for food donations, past a series of security cameras, and out the back door, slipping back into the wooded area he came from. In the span of just 3 minutes, this man has managed to take a religious artifact from a heavily surveilled church in broad daylight. A week after it was stolen, Gibbsboro police identified the suspect as 64-year-old Robert Adelman, a former parishioner at this very church.
Officers discovered a home rigged with cameras.
What we saw was some of the most shocking footage that I've ever seen in my entire law enforcement career.
I saw this camera right above your head. I see a couple of people leaving right in front of me as well here.
To go into a house where the residents have cameras in all of the rooms, like the bathrooms, was very abnormal.
An argument about alleged flirting online had been escalated by Keith.
Get me out of here. Or you ain't waking up.
Oh my god.
3 dead bodies were found stuffed into this hollowed-out tree in the middle of the woods in 2010. And when it came to who the murderer was, truth is stranger than fiction. This is Matthew Hoffman, and in November of 2010, he murdered 3 people and kidnapped a 13-year-old girl who he held hostage for days. On November 9th, 2010, Matthew went into the woods and spent the night camping. Then the next morning on November 10th, he decided to wake up and break into the home of Tina Herman. So unfortunately that day, when Tina Herman returned to her house, Matthew Hoffman had broken in. And as soon as he saw her, he freaked out, dragged her into a bedroom, and stabbed her multiple times with a hunting knife, killing her. But what Matthew didn't know was that Tina's friend Stephanie was coming over to meet her that morning. And while Matthew was dealing with Tina and her dead body, Stephanie entered the residence. Matthew freaked out. He stabbed Stephanie a number of times with the same hunting knife, even continuing to stab her after she was dead. And hearing all of this, the family's dog started to bark violently, and Matthew then stabbed and killed the family dog as well. After this, he dragged both of the women's bodies into the bathroom, dismembered them in the tub along with the body of the dog, and stuffed the body parts into trash bags. Shortly after finishing the dismemberment process, though, Tina's 2 children, Cody and Sarah, arrived home from school. Immediately after walking into their house, Matthew stabbed Cody in the back of the head, killing him instantly, then chased Sarah up into her room where he bound and gagged her with a cord from a fan in her room. So after dismembering Cody's body and stuffing him into a trash bag as well, Matthew brought out the 3 bodies that he had chopped up and placed into garbage bags, stored them in his car, and then brought out Sarah, who was still alive. After this, he brought Sarah and the bodies of Tina, Stephanie, and Cody back to his own house, where he kept Tina locked in a crawl space. And this is where the story gets really weird. So Matthew Hoffman was a self-professed tree lover, and his entire home was covered in leaves. I'm talking about piles of leaves, bags of leaves nailed to the walls. And apparently, according to his neighbors at the time, Matthew had exhibited some really strange behavior prior to the murders. He had apparently been trapping squirrels in his backyard, killing them and grilling them. He allegedly spent hours sitting up in the trees in his backyard, just staring at the other trees and watching squirrels. And for a while, he had actually worked as a professional tree trimmer. But let's get back to the story. So after bringing Sarah back to his house, along with the bodies of the other people he had killed, he locked her in a bathroom and even tied himself to her and took a nap. Afterwards, he headed back to the crime scene, did some cleanup, and then eventually brought Sarah into a crawl space, which was once again covered in leaves, dark and damp. And while she was chained up and held hostage inside of this crawl space, for days he visited her regularly and would SA her. Keep in mind, at the time, Sarah was only 13 years old, and her mom, her brother, and her family friend had been murdered right in front of her. Finally, though, a few days later, Matthew was arrested after police found him parked in his own car right next to the abandoned car of one of his victims. Tina, Coda, Sarah, and Stephanie had been missing for days now, so the police obviously went and searched Matthew's house, and that's when they made the gruesome discovery of Sarah chained up in the crawl space. This is an actual photo that the police released eventually of Sarah exactly as they found her. They actually had to take these photos for evidence before they released her, and they obviously immediately arrested Matthew. So for a while after his arrest, Matthew would not release the location of the bodies to the police. They were desperately trying to find the bodies of those people that he had killed, but he wouldn't tell them anything. That is, until they took the death penalty off the table, and that's when he revealed that he had stuffed the 3 corpses into a hollowed-out tree in the middle of the woods. Police immediately then went and found the tree, and inside they found the bodies of Cody, Stephanie, and Tina in those trash bags, dismembered. Eventually, the tree was torn down, but, I mean, how bizarre is this story? Eventually, Matthew Hoffman was sentenced to life in prison without parole, and this whole story is just kind of mind-blowing. He's been nicknamed the Leaf Killer for doing the things that he did, for his obsession with leaves, the way that he placed the bodies inside of a hollowed-out tree trunk. I've never really heard a story like this, and I hope to never hear one like this again.
Yeah, the world's dumbest criminals caught on camera. Alright, to start off, this guy sneaked into a kebab shop and tried to steal a doner kebab while the cook was busy. Little did he know that thing is super hot. I guess he must have turned off his brain that day. Next, this package thief had been stealing packages the whole day, but this time her getaway driver left too soon, making her fall. So the owner of the package was able to catch her and called the cops instantly. And finally, this guy was trying on a gold chain, then sadly thought it would be a good idea to run away with it. But little did he know that the store owner had already locked the doors, meaning he couldn't run away. Let's just say he won't be doing that ever again. Yeah, the world's dumbest.
A woman with a DoorDash delivery is seen knocking on the front door of a home in Texas at around 1:20 a.m. But no order had been made. A woman and a child were asleep inside. The woman lingered outside from 1:20 a.m. until 2 a.m. when 4 men got into the backyard and tried to gain entry into the home. The suspects caused damage to the outside of the house, but weren't able to enter the residence successfully. The female suspect has a large flower tattoo on her right thigh and another floral tattoo on her wrist. All 5 suspects were seen leaving in a dark-colored sedan. The suspects were never apprehended.
Think you're safe in your own home? Well, think again. This video portrays the house of a family who locks their door religiously at night. Yet on the couch lays a 15-year-old Anaya Robinson, who is visited by an intruder in the night. The hooded man can be seen with his hands in his pockets, just staring at the young girl on the couch, sleeping. He goes unnoticed for a short while, but not pictured in the video. The young woman wakes up at the sound of his footsteps throughout the house. She then yells for her mom and dad to help, and the hooded man hightails it out of the house. Unfortunately, this is the only evidence presented in the case, and the police were not able to identify the man. Upon further investigation, the police learned that this man was not out for valuables, as he did not steal a single thing in the home. Rather, he took a peeping Tom to the next level. Though they did not find the man, 15-year-old Anaya Robinson was completely safe after this incident. But this is just another incident, proving to keep your doors locked and be safe.
Excuse me. My name's Lori.
All right.
I just think you're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
Could I buy one of those things for you?
Oh, no, it's okay. I'll be fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you engaged with someone or involved with someone?
No, I'm not, but...
I'm not either.
I'm only 17, so...
Okay, well, that's a good age to be.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not quite that.
All right.
I got injured about a month or so ago. My knee is kind of, I'll show you, it's kind of banged up. I get bitten by a tick, actually.